Good morning, hello, and it's dark. Well, it's not dark. You can see in the background behind me that the sun's actually coming up, and I'm not alone today. No, I've not got Mrs. C with me. I've got Darren. Darren's with me. We're up bright and early this morning, but maybe not early enough. I think another hour earlier would have been better to try and get the golden hour, but conditions are clear skies, so it's not perfect, even though there is a little bit of colour over there in the background. There's no cloud above us, so we're not going to be able to catch anything. We are at Curbar Edge. If you'd seen my last video, I made it down here, and we did Baslow Edge, which is right next door to Curbar Edge. So we're going to head over that way. It's really cold, really cold. I've got some frost on the windows, so yeah, it's definitely cold. So I'm going to try and keep myself warm, wrap up. Darren's fumbling around. He's not used to all this camera lark. He hasn't had his camera out for ages. So yeah, join us and I'll see you when we get down on the rocks. But I've never been here before, so I don't really know what I'm looking for. But as soon as I see something that's interesting, I know I'll switch you on and show you. But it's nice to see the morning anyway, if nothing else. Right, so we're making our way up the pathway. And it's not a hill, but when you jump out of the van or the car and you suddenly start walking, it does take the breath away. And by God, is it chilly. There's a bit of a wind, and that bit of wind is really icy cold. But it's okay, because we're out and it's nice. Once I can get my fingers out my gloves and pull my neck thing up, it wouldn't be too bad. But the light behind is nice and golden, but I don't think we're going to get anything overly epic, because like I say, there's no clouds in the sky at all. It's really clear, which is a shame. But if we can find a shot, we'll try and get something with a little bit of that colour, behind us, because I think that'll work all right. But you never know, we might get to the top here, there might be a little bit of mist in the valley, and that'd be awesome. Pathway's pretty good. You can see it's just a gravel pathway, so it's pretty easy. Straight out the car park, turn right down the road about 50 feet, turn right again and follow the path up. Nice and simples. Whew. Right, even Darren's panting. So it's not just me, that's unfit. Bless him, look. Oh. Right, let's stop talking again, concentrate on walking, and just see if I can find something facing backwards. And we're actually at the top. I'll just show you the top. This is where we are. Make our way up across this little bit of a heathery path. And we're already right in the thick of it. And it's a good job we did walk this way, because otherwise we walk past it. Look at this. Look at that. That's where we are. We're up on Curbar Edge. Like I said, the last video I was just down there on that little Baslow Edge. So let's see if I can find something facing backwards. Even these rocks here, just for some interest, maybe. Maybe, I don't know. We've got Darren doing a good pose up there. Yes, if we can find something with a rock in it, leading backwards, that's what we'll do. Okay, so we've got a couple of shots, and it's a shame there's not a bit more cloud over there, because it really is lighting up the clouds over in the distance really nicely. But I've got nothing in between, like the mid-ground that I can zoom in on, because if I could zoom in onto something, I could actually, you know, almost compress the image a bit and zoom in on something mid-ground, and then just use the mid-ground of distance, you know, the sky. But there is nothing, it's just fields and loads of stone walls, which is pretty cool. So I'm using this. I've got these few rocks down in the foreground facing backwards, giving you a bit of a line to sort of through the image best it can, which I think will be okay. I won't know until I get home. I've almost done something to my camera at the moment. I'm not sure what I've done, but everything seems really dark, so I think I've got the metering mode on. Whether it's on spot metering or something, it just doesn't seem quite right. But I'm gonna have to have a fumble when I can feel my fingers properly and try and get it right. But we know we're bracketing 5 exposures again, 2 overexposed to down to 2 underexposed, and like I said, there's a little bit of colour in the background. I'm going to take that again, just one more, because there is a little bit of light on the clouds in the background, so you might be able to see them, but it's all about the start for the day, or start of the morning. We've got no idea what's going to happen when the sun does come up. I just need to know that I'm not going to step backwards because there's nothing behind me. So if I step backwards, I'm going to get a headache, and Darren's going to stand there laughing his head off till he wets himself. But yeah, no, it's nice. It's nice. I keep repeating myself. It is nice being out. So I think what it's going to give us is why that sun's going to make an appearance, because it will shine across. So everything in our immediate foreground, everything across here is going to start catching the light as it drifts across the hills. And then we got the looking backwards then, you know, the rocks and stuff like that. This is a sunset location, I would have thought more. So the sun sets over that direction like I had in the last video, and it's lighting up all the side of these rocks. So in the morning, all these rocks are obviously going to be in shadow, so we will see. We're just going to make it up as we go along. We know what I'm like, make it up as I go along. But yeah, it's a pretty impressive set of rocks so far. So we're going to explore, and I'll speak to you when something starts to happen, or if something starts to happen. In view, yeah, we'll have to go. We'll definitely have to go and have a look in a minute, because he was definitely heading that way quickly. We're just saying, we just seen a photographer walk past. He didn't even say hello. He just kept going that way. So we're thinking there must be something a lot more interesting over the other side of the rock. We set up here, or I've set up here. Darren's very timid on taking a picture today because he hasn't used his camera for a year, and all of his batteries are dead. Is it a Nikon? Canon, you are Canon, aren't you? He's Canon, that's okay then, or not. Yeah, no, his batteries are all dead. 2 of them won't charge. They're all genuines, and he's now got 2 batteries with him. One of them's saying it's dead, and the other one's saying half charged. So by leaving them uncharged for such a long time hasn't done them any good. But he spotted this. He said, "Oh, this looks quite interesting." And you got this big, looks like the council's been up here and tipped a big lump of concrete, but you've got this big ridge of rock, and then you've got this lovely sticky out bit there, which would make a cracking selfie. I might even run up there and jump on the top, but I'll get Darren to take the picture rather than me running around like an idiot. But yeah, no, it's quite a nice, interesting shot. There's no colour, apart from there's a little bit of blue in the sky because the sun hasn't quite got up yet, and it's doing so. It's very close to being popping over them clouds just there, so when it does, we'll get a different view and hopefully a bit of warmth off the sun, because by God it's chilly. But yeah, I've taken that shot, f8. I focused on this big lump of council concrete, and it's just really to get that shape, that edge, you know, the hopefully look sort of 3-dimensional. At f8 it should be a bit shallower depth of field, so the background should just be going out. I could even try, out of interest, just to say he's wasting me time and doing it again, let's just knock it right down. If I go down to, let's say, f5 and do the same again, but this time I'm going to focus on the same place, focus on the same place, then I'm going to focus on that rock just to make sure, because I've got a shallower depth now. And then if I focus on that rock over there, I've now got this piece in focus, that piece in focus, and I'll let the background drop off then, and that might just give me a bit more depth of field in the image, because that's what it's about. That sticky out bit looks like a big beak. We've been walking around trying to spot faces now. Right, so I'm going to shut up again because I am rambling. I'm just taking shots, like I said, rushing in, get the shot, get another shot. I just enjoy taking photographs at the end of the day. We've got someone down here in a tent, so we're with me shouting my mouth off, probably waking him up. So yeah, shh. So the sun's just coming up, so I literally just run up to this bit. I've got a selfie, Darren took a selfie for me. I just run up to this little patch just to see, because there's a lot of rocks there, if I can get a bit of a sun star image. So I didn't talk through it because I was running against the time of the sun, and it's already up now. It's cleared the top of the rock, so I'm going to come back to the position I was in just now, because I'm pretty sure that the sun, by its angle, it's lighting up where Darren is now. Darren stood where I was just now, so you can see the sun's just catching the edge of this rock. So that's what I'm going to work on, and it's over there lighting the top of the hills and everything, because it is coming up behind me, right behind my head now. So give me a few minutes to set this shot up, and then we'll see what we can do with this one. Alright, so we are on f16 ISO 160, and I'm not worried about the shutter speed because I'm bracketing 5 anyway, so that'll vary. The sun is catching this rock. You can see my shadow just there. I'm doing a little jig and all that. Oh, I've got some big feet going on. Yeah, the sun's coming right behind us now, and you can see it's catching the top of here. Now I brought the camera down a bit lower this time so I can actually get that poking up above the horizon, and it's catching the hillside over in the background there as well, which is quite nice. But if only there was something going on down there in the bottom. My image is something like this. I've got this piece and this piece coming up round there. You can't quite see it on the back of the camera, so I'm going to brighten it up for you. There you go. You can see the rocks formations coming round up to that top part there. So bring the exposure down, so we've got a nice even exposure, focusing on this foreground rock there, because at f8 all that'll be sharp anyway. 2-second timer on, and we'll just get a piece of that nice yellowy light just on the top of that rock. And as it gets higher, and higher, it is going to obviously light all of that rock. So we'll see what happens. Let's see, first time here, it's more of a scouting recce to see what happens with the light and the conditions. I think a sunset here would be fantastic, it really would. Like last night when it was going over there, if you get the clouds, but then you got that same problem. If you want to shoot the rocks covered in that nice golden light, you can't get the clouds that are all lighting up, so you're shooting off the edge of the cliff sort of thing. So it's all balance, about balance. And I'm still convinced this is all council concrete though, because if you look at this, look, it looks like there's pebbles and stuff in it. You know, like the council come along and dump the old concrete they don't want. It's definitely what it looks like up here. I've not noticed it before anywhere else. Is your nose as numb as mine? I need to warm my nose up. I'll speak to you in a little while when we're warmed up. So I think that's all I'm going to do there. I'm not going to take loads because it's just sunlight on a rock, and what I want to try and do is try and find something a bit more interesting if I can. Go and have a look at this pinnacle, so it's always a learning thing for what I'm going to look at next time. Darren's facing this direction, so I think he's going to take a similar shot, so I don't want to be stood here for too long because he's going to be in his way, and if he's only got half a battery he'll be turning it on, firing it off and turning it off again. We've all been there, haven't we? So I'm making my way along at the moment, just having a look. I've left Darren to take his picture. I'm just having a look here and seeing that little cave. That's cool, that is. I'll have a nose at that in a minute. Yeah, just to see what this pinnacle is. He said about 100 yards along. So let's have a look and see what he was talking about. Could be this bit here maybe. The rocks are quite interesting when you get over the edge and look, but the interesting bit is on the other side. It's very, very flat up here. I wonder if this is it. This could well be a pinnacle looking thing. Definitely, yeah. Let's have a look. Oh right, yeah, definitely. Let's just put my camera down a sec. Just there, like so. Yeah, this is definitely a pinnacle. Look at that. That is definitely a pinnacle. But he did say the light didn't catch it, so that's the thing. If there's no light on it, oh look at that, that's cool. I think it's still good. I think it's still a good image, even without the light on it. I just love the way that's jutting up. How ridiculously amazing is that? Right, let's go and get my camera. We've got light behind it anyway, so we've got some sunlight behind it, which will do. You can see the light caressing the top of Edge, which is where I was in the last video, like I did say. And I'm running around because it's a way of keeping myself warm. Oh yeah, that's good. And we've got that famous rock. Well, not necessarily a famous rock, but there's a rock in the background. I'm trying to push the tripod into the ground here, stop it falling over. Excuse me. There's a rock in the background, and I put the name of the rock up here somewhere for you. But it's one single rock that's on its own. I'm gonna get my fingers out of my gloves. One single rock that's on its own, and it has got a name. I don't know what it is at the moment. Right, so let's lighten this right up so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, let's zoom in. That really does look good. Shame there's no light on it, but I can live with that. I'm going to just get the tip of the rock over that side. Yeah, no, that's nice. I like that. I think that's just, it looks pretty good sticking up like that. Again, I'm going to focus actually on the rock, drop my exposure back down again now, so there's a little bit of colour in the background, a tiny little bit of golden colour on the rock, on the hedgerows. Just get my camera level, just like so, and if anything else, this is a record shot. If it doesn't work, I'll show you it anyway, just so you can see what it is I'm looking at. But evening time, I may even stay tonight and come back in the evening and try and get the light coming across this, because that'll look amazing lit up at night. Yeah, I like that. There's going to be a couple of other ways of shooting it as well. I think I can get even lower and make it stick up even higher. Definitely think I can get lower, so just bear with me. See if I can take you down here, get a bit lower on it without tripping and falling. Oh, big steps. So I've come down a bit lower, but from down here, oh, the camera's a bit wobbly. From down here, it doesn't look as good. It actually looks better. It actually does look better from slightly higher up, because all you're getting now is this big post sticking out. So yeah, as much as it was interesting getting down here, it definitely looks better higher up. Now I'm in a position where I'm stuck because I can't get my foot up. Here we go. Ugh, too old for all this big step luck. Yeah, it does. It actually looks better here. It looks better where I was here. It seems to sort of stick up more. So yeah, there's another one, another shot. But look at the edge behind here. Let's just poke the camera in the ground. Stay. Look at this here. This is the way it goes off and off and off and off into the distance. Massive, massive ridge. Actually, that actually looks quite good from up here as well. It just goes to show when you walk around and move around, see the way it's sticking up there. So but yeah, definitely an evening shot, I think. Definitely. Did you take one?
I did, yeah.
He did. He took one shot, and he's waving his hands around. Bless him, he's cold. Right, enough waffling. Let's find one more shot before we finish. Right, so I've got myself, I think, my final shot. Possibly two, because I've just noticed the rim light on the edge of this rock just here, and I'm wondering whether if I move over again I can have the light on that, but it might be too prominent to make that look dark in the background. But I like this shot. I've got the camera tilted down. The idea is I'm eliminating the sky, because there is absolutely nothing in the sky, nothing at all. It's just plain light blue, just a pastel blue color, and it's not doing a lot for me. But what I do like is I like the slight recession through the valley. Whoop! You slipped off a rock then. I like the recession in the valley, and I've come above the pinnacle, and on the back of the camera it looks really quite nice. Now I know there's no colour actually on this, and I think this is definitely one for later on, and I do think I'm going to come back later on and have a go. But this is a really nice shot. I'm at f16, so I've got lots of depth in the image. I'm focused on, I'm concentrating, I'm zoomed in enough so I've got this square boulder, and it's leading you, it's sort of pointing you in. It's on the bottom left hand thirds, and it's pointing you into the trinicle, which is over towards the right hand thirds of the image. And what I've just noticed it on the camera as well, and what I really like in this image, and I didn't notice it before now, is all the walls in the bottom. You've got this nice soft pastel green colours in the bottom with all the walls to show you're actually in the sort of in the Derbyshire Dales, or whatever you want to call this place. Yeah, I really quite like that. And I've just got it in time before a car drove past. There's two little horses down there as well. If you can spot the horses, then let me know in the comment. I'm not going to tell you where they are, but you've got to tell me where they are. Tiny little horses, and I think you can just about notice that rock over in the left-hand top, right in the top left-hand corner of the image, and you can just barely see a strip of the sky just to see where the end of the land finishes. But I think that's absolutely amazing. Now I'm desperate to go and stand on the top of that trinicle, but I don't think I can get up there that easy. But if I can, I will do, just to say that I've been on there, because there's no wind and it's nice and calm, and I've got someone here as a witness. He watched me stand on the top of the trinicles when we did that one, so we've got someone as a witness here, just in case I fall we can radio for help. But yeah, let's just have a little look at this just before I switch off. Yeah, see, so when you come up here, this dominates the image too much. It's far too bright there to have that in the foreground. It would just overpower the trinicle behind it. So we won't use that. But sunset again, like I said, sunset, the light will be on the side of this, and the side of this, so that'll look beautiful going that way. So that's the plan for this evening. I think I'll hang around, go somewhere for midday and have a nose around, and then yeah, come back for sunset, I think, and scout the rest of this. There's loads more to look as well. So yeah, this is my final image, unless you see a selfie one. So enjoy this, and yeah, thanks for watching. Again, a little bit random. It's just me being a bit scatty this morning, taking a few pictures. Not too many technical bits, apart from the fact that, you know, you're using f16 to get a bigger depth of field, and I went to an f5 to try and have a narrow depth of field to sort of make that rock stick out a little bit more. And yeah, again, it's been good having a chat with Darren and taking the mick out of people. But yeah, no, brilliant morning. Time for breakfast. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Ciao for now. See you soon. Say bye.
Bye.
Bye. Right, as per usual and as promised, I've actually got up and got up on top of this rock. It looked daunting from a distance, and I can feel my legs going a little bit jelly-like, but look at this. I'm now up on top of this rock, and I don't want to lean back, because if I lean back I can end up falling off. And been there, seen it, done it. Now all I've got to do is get back down. It's not that bad. There is sort of almost steps there, but it's harder going down than it is coming up, so definitely ciao for now. We're laughing about this moment. I'm back. You know where I was going? I've just stopped. We're just mooching around here, talking and chopsing, and Darren went, oh, look at that, that's cool. There's a wheel, an old stone wheel there. You can see the perfect hole in the middle of it. Just there, look at that. And having that lined up with that rock there that I said was too bright, and then the pinnacle sticking up there, and the light's just hitting the top of the pinnacle. So of course, bringing the camera up really high up here, I can get all three in on a vertical shot. So I'm going to do that, and that's going to probably be my last shot. So again, I'm going to say ciao for now. Oh, and I probably won't switch the camera back on, but if I do, so be it.